Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Deanna and you're watching Orchie D. And today I thought I'd do a little video on the Gongora orchid, especially while this little guy, my Gongora Negrita, is still in bloom. I got both of them around March or April last year. And so I've had them both for under a year, but they've both bloomed for me this summer, which means I'm doing something right. So I thought I would give you guys a few care tips, really just based on my experience with them and kind of how I look after them. I also wanted to make this video because I kind of think they're really underrated orchids. They're so vigorous and really, like, their blooms are just so unique. They produce these amazing long pendant flower spikes, and I actually lost a couple of blooms on this one, but you can sort of see that they kind of just evenly space themselves on these flower spikes and arrange themselves in this really attractive fashion. I guess the downside really is that the blooms don't last that long, like a really short period of time, maybe 4 days or so. But you know what, they're just so unique that I really think they're worth it. You can see the importance of hanging these guys, especially when they start developing their flower spike. So I nearly lost this flower spike because I had it in a decorative container and I was sort of moving it around, and it got caught in like some metal wide shelving, and you can see that it got a bit kinked. I nearly lost the spike because I was a bit careless. So the two Gongoras I have are both species. This one here is the Gongora galeata, which also has very cool, unique flowers that sort of look like little helmets, or I think they kind of look like little dragonflies. And this one up here is the Gongora Negrita. So you can see they kind of look different, but at the same time very similar in terms of growth habit. The Gongoras are related to the Stanhopea or Stanhopa orchids, and they all kind of have these oval, very ridged pseudobulbs, and have a couple of apical leaves at the top. And then they both develop these amazing long pendant flower spikes. So the flower spikes emerge from the base of the pseudobulb and then grow up, and then they are pendant downwards. So they don't grow into the medium like the Stanhopas, so you can just pot them in a normal pot, and you can see mine are in two different setups. So this one is in just a normal plastic pot with a few aeration holes, and this one is actually in a mesh basket. So yeah, these guys really are tropical plants. They love the warmth, they love the humidity, so they do pretty well for me in my subtropical conditions, where my humidity, it rarely ever drops below 50%, but on a really, really hot day, like in the mid to high 30s Celsius, it can get a bit low at times, but they don't seem too fussed as long as you keep them well hydrated, I think. But in a consistently low humidity environment, I think they might struggle a little bit. In terms of temperature, in winter, I'd say maybe a minimum of 15 degrees Celsius. But as I said, they can really handle quite warm temperatures in summer, as long as you keep up with the watering. I did keep these guys outside in winter, and I kind of brought them inside along with my Vandas when the temperatures dropped below 12 degrees Celsius. But I did go away one weekend, and this guy, the Nigrita, actually lost a couple of back bulbs because the temperatures dropped below 10 degrees Celsius. So yeah, they can be a little bit prone to rot, and you just got to keep with the airflow and avoid really cold temperatures. So for watering, I never let these guys dry out. I might let them just approach dryness in winter, but in summer they really should stay evenly moist. But as I said, with that really good airflow, they can take a fair amount of feed as well in their growing seasons. So in my experience, they really don't need a lot of light to bloom. So for example, I actually had all my Oncidiums out here in this bright shade, but none of them bloomed, so I had to move them. But both the Gongoras bloomed, so I would say bright shade is probably all they need. So we'll just have a look at these flowers. Just think that they're so unique. Look at that. Just stunning. Got these little whiskery bits and yeah. So I was saying they kind of look like little dragons. But someone also commented from my Orchids in Bloom video that they kind of look like little vultures, which I kind of agree with as well. Yeah, I guess they kind of look like little vultures swooping down to grab their prey with their little claws down here. Their wings flicked back in flight. Super cool. This nigrita sort of smells like sour cinnamon. I guess it's a little bit weird, but I don't find it unpleasant at all, and it's really not that strong, so I don't mind. The Gongora galeata, on the other hand, smelt like sweet oranges. So there wasn't a sour note in there, it just smelt like that sweet citrus. Yeah, really nice actually. So the medium I use for these, I use quite a high percentage of sphagnum, about 75% sphagnum in this net pot, and the rest is like leca and a bark mix, and this one's probably about 50% sphagnum in the pot there. So they do have quite fine roots that can dry out pretty quickly, so I would tend to use something that does retain a lot of moisture, because you really don't want these guys drying out too much in summer. But otherwise, yeah guys, they're pretty easygoing little plants. The galeata here came to me bare root, and when I went to clean it up and pot it, it actually fell into 3 different pieces. But yeah, it still managed to put out heaps of new growths, and it flowered. So yeah, I don't think they're really sensitive. You can sort of see this is the smallest little section here, and it's got this growth. It's got this new growth here, a couple back here as well. So yeah, super vigorous. But yeah guys, I totally recommend you give these guys a go. I think they're really good beginner orchids in warm climates though, and with decent humidity. Definitely not a cool grower, and I'd say they would probably prefer growing outdoors or in a greenhouse. But just look at these blooms. Totally worth a go just for these blooms. They're just so unique and very cool. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more orchid videos. I hope you guys have a great day, and happy growing until I see you next time. Bye.